Well, hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and it is Sunday afternoon, so it's time for us to be talking about coping with stress. For those of you who don't know, Dear Mama Sal is a group of people who get together 3 times a week to help ourselves and other people cope better with their lives. And hi to Jeannie and hi to Roddy. Good to see you both. And anybody else who's watching in the background, I can see we got people watching in the background, and we're really happy with that. I always say that I don't mind how you listen to the broadcasts. The fact that you do tells me that you are looking to improve your life. Today, we're going to be talking a bit about coping with stress. And I want to put a particular focus today about realizing what a beautiful life we actually have. And Ginny, just while I see you there, congratulations. For those of you who don't know, the roof went on her house today. As some of you may remember, her house burnt down, well, it must be about 3 or 4 months ago now. And just help me if I've got that wrong, Jeannie. I'm so busy with my fire that I forget about when yours happened. Actually, it's probably more than that because mine's already 2 months away. Anyway, her whole house burnt down, and she sent me a picture today that shows that the roof is back on. Yay, the sides are up and the roof is on. May the 31st, right? At what time? I can tell you mine was September the 23rd around 10:30. Hi, Sandy, and so good to see you here. Sandy, with permission, I would like to talk a little bit about what happened to you tonight. And I wanted to also ask Jeannie if it's okay for me to put the picture up of your roof, because I'm certain people who know you who might not be able to be here today would love to see that. And I'm going to make a note because I don't see Jody in yet. She is. Yes, she is. Okay, well, I've written the note anyway. So I just need the okay. Yes, do it. Okay, thanks. I'll put a note up, and Jody will remind me to do it because that's what she's so good at. For those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin, and she looks after us on a daily basis. I just want to start by reminding you all that what we're about is helping you cope and those people around you cope with life, and particularly on a Sunday with the stress that you've got. And we've got a number of people under a lot of stress at the moment that I want to talk about. If you have a subject about which you'd like me to speak, please contact me at dearmamasal@gmail.com. And thank you for the okay there, Sandy. And also remember to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, also at Dear Mama Sal. And the only thing that isn't at Dear Mama Sal is Instagram, because that's at the real Dear Mama Sal, owing to the fact that somebody's took my name before I got it there. Interesting that people do that, but never mind. I hope they're happy with it. So just be careful if you go onto Instagram and you see Dear Mama Sal, make sure it's the real Dear Mama Sal. Okay? And on Sundays, we concentrate on letting go of our perfectionism and our self-imposed deadlines and any other stresses. And so I want you to think about your life and what are you doing to yourself? Because most of our stress is self-inflicted. It is not what's coming at us, but how we're processing what's coming at us. As I quote every week, all right, from Lao Tzu, which is, if you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you're at peace, then you are living in the moment. Actually, he said in the present, but I'd like to say in the moment, because we don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. Those of you living on the eastern seaboard, the snow could open. I mean, the heavens could open and dump a whole lot more snow on you. And oh, interesting, that person has my photos up as well. Interesting. Jody, can you make a note of that so that we can check on that? Yes, Roddy, it's a really good quote to have. And if you would like it, I will gladly copy it and send it on to you. But it's literally, if you think about that, if you keep concentrating on the past, you'll be miserable. It's gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you concentrate on the future, it's going to be stressful and you're going to get anxious. But if you go, what one step can I take today on what I'm doing? And that's what we talk about. All right, so coping means that you invest your own conscious effort in solving personal and interpersonal problems in order to try and master, minimize, and tolerate stress and conflict. I keep reminding everybody because it's so important. I'd like to remind you as well that I am just a regular human being. I don't have a fancy bit of paper that makes me a guru on something. I am a human being that by the color of my hair, you can tell I've lived a while. And during that time, I have been through depression, I've been through anxiety, I've even ended up in ICU with anxiety attacks that I didn't even know I had. You know what I mean? I've been there, I understand these things. But what I decided to do was to change my life and therefore to control those things much better. And that's what we concentrate. And I'd like to thank everybody who's here in the room, because what I love about the group at DearMamaSal is whatever's going on for them, they're inclined to put it aside and come and help other people. And I want to really thank you. And for those of you who might need a little bit of personal attention, know that you just have to write, and I'm pretty good about giving regular answers. If it looks like a lot of work, then I may need to charge you, but quite honestly, in most cases, I will just write back. All right, so interesting. Jeannie's talking about a success thing that she's done this week that makes her life more beautiful. She's saying that the place where she lives has another contest going this month. And because of you folks, that's us, all right, DearMamaSal peeps, I'm going to enter the baking contest again. That is awesome. And she's going to make rum balls this time. Doesn't that sound nice? All right, so what I wanted to do is to just work with you all. And I want to talk about, I found this quote by T.B. Joshua. And T.B. Joshua said, "A beautiful life does not just happen. It is built." How many of you agree with that? And I was thinking that stress comes at us in all different ways. For those of you who don't know, Sandy nearly died last night. And she gave me permission to talk about this, but she is a diabetic and she's on a special thing that gives her insulin. But something went wrong and she ended up crashing last night, and crashing so low that it was dangerous, and then compensated and ended up so high that it was dangerous. And, we're just lucky that she's still here. And, I don't know about you, but if I'd had that night, I probably wouldn't be here at DearMamaSal. But she is. We love you, Sandy. And, it's really important that you understand that being here will help other people realize that whatever they thought was stressful maybe doesn't sound quite as stressful when they hear about what you went through last night. And I always think that one of the things that we forget about is the comparisons. For example, I was making my latte. I don't know if you can see that. I was making the latte for the broadcast, and I managed to spill most of the steamed milk into my microwave here. And I was muttering and grunting about, the cleanup required and the time it was taking. And I went, stop. Be grateful you have a microwave. It's called a first world problem. You have a microwave. Be grateful. And either mop it all up and clean it properly and make the time, even if it, it means you're going to be a minute late or something. Make the time to get the worst of it off, and do that. But do you understand how I was stressing out about, I don't want that. And I'm going, be grateful that you have a microwave. And it's very important for those of you who only slept, a few hours last night. Think about Sandy. She was scared to even go to sleep. Why? She could die during her sleep with what was going on with her blood sugar. Think about that. And Sandy, I don't think I've ever discussed this, but I lost a friend of mine through that, right, who actually did have that happen. And so I totally understand the stress of it. How about this quote? All is grace. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens for a reason. And life is beautiful. And I would like to say that I'm sure that Sandy agrees that life is beautiful. I'm certain there were moments last night where she didn't think she was going to be seeing life again. And so to me, it's really important. And by the way, on the makeup thing, because it's a different color, I thought I would tell you it was quite complicated to get the lipstick on today. I started off with this color, which totally is against this color, I know, but I did. And then I went for the Rimmel, okay, which I thought matched that beautifully. So the base color went on, and then I put on the Rimmel, and then I put on the clear gloss. No, I lie. Then I went to my contouring set, and I took as I think you all know I do, I took the lightest one, okay, and patted that across. And last but not least, I took the lip gloss over just that center section. And there we have it. And why did I do that? So it doesn't end up on my teeth. My mommy taught me that. But you end up with lipstick on your finger. All right, so there you go. And that's how I do my lips. And I say that because I'm amazed how many people ask me about that. Now, I wanted to say as well, one of the things about having a beautiful life is to learn that you are probably your own worst enemy in terms of getting a happy, beautiful life. Now, you all know that Jody is our admin. And I am pretty certain Jody be the first person to tell you that she never, ever dreamt she would hold that position, right? I mean, in her wildest dreams, she did not think she would end up being admin to DearMamaSal. Well, which makes you ask the question, well, how did she get it? And the answer is, I picked her. And you see, I wasn't looking for a lot of things that a lot of people probably would think. I was looking for somebody that had a couple more brain cells going in the right direction, that had a sense of humor, that cared about people and things, and knew about life from a difficult side. And, Jody, as some of you know, suffers from, she first of all had cancer. She overcame cancer, and then her lymph nodes gave her lymphedema, which caused her to balloon up to, a huge size. And so, can you imagine? I'm pretty certain that some of you would have said, what's the point? And, when she was a beauty person, to end up with that much weight on her, you can imagine what that did to her self-esteem and everything else. And when I found Jody, when she first came in to the DearMamaSal broadcast, quite honestly, I think it would be fair to say that she was busy checking out. In her mentality, she was checking out. And I actually did ask her, with that famous 2x4 that I bring out every now and then, I asked her, do you want to die? And she said, what? And I said, well, you sound like you are busy dying, so I want to know, do you want to die or do you want to live? Because I can help you live a bit if that's what you want. And it was really funny because she said, I want to live. And I went, okay, fine. Then I'll put you on as my admin. So Jody, looking back on that, why was putting you in as an admin for me a good thing for you? Can you let us know? I mean, did I make the right choice? And what happened when I did it? Now, Jeannie's saying, today I rewrote my obituary. I went through so many things that I have done in my life, and I'm so pleased to remember and happy to see where I am now. I am a happy person. Well done, Jeannie. Yes, I think it's time, seeing as you mentioned that, I've actually written mine. Obituary, for those of you who don't know, that's the thing they write on your tombstone or, on a plaque or something. And I don't think it's some of you probably go, oh, I don't want to be talking about that. Well, why not? Because I read somewhere a long, long time ago that it's a really good idea to write your own. And I'm glad you've done yours, Jeannie, because it gives you something to live for, if you like. And I'll give you an example. Mine, the one that I would like is, here lies Sal, who cares enough to share, shared enough to make a meaningful difference, and so doing became a gentle giant inside. Now, the reason I took some time on writing that, and the reason I took the time, it was not about money. It was not about fame. It was not about anything other than every night could I go to bed and say, did I care enough to share today? And did I share enough to make a meaningful difference in somebody's life? Because if so, then I have done my work today. Ruddy's saying, oh my goodness, that would give me many anxiety attacks because I'd be thinking about death. Well, no, you see, Ruddy, the thing I do is and by the way, welcome back. We're delighted to see you. I use that as my guiding light. And it's not about a negative, it's a positive. That's what keeps me on track. When I'm not feeling well, I can, has feeling not well stopped me from a beautiful life? And, I think about Jody, right? And I want to tell you that Jody, with all her illness and everything else that's going on with her, lives a happier life than a lot of people I know that are totally without illness. Some of you are, I'm just going to read what Jody put here. Jody's saying about the question, did making her an admin have any effect? She said, you gave me a new sense of purpose in my life. And even more importantly, didn't accept my excuses for I can't. And because of that, I am here today and I'm a different person now. Yep. And we are so glad. We are so glad that you are. And, it's about, if you don't live for something, then you're not living a beautiful life. And Roddy's saying, and you guys are beautiful with a young heart. Well, we live, but we work on it every week, Roddy. And also, Jody's saying, I can use my story to educate others, which means it wasn't in vain. Absolutely. And Jody, I was thinking about, probably as all the snows were coming in yesterday, there's part of me that's going, I can imagine Roddy in Egypt's probably going, oh, snow, wouldn't that be nice and cool? You know what I mean? It's like, it's all about how we see things. But here's the ongoing thing about a beautiful life. Jody said that she would never have dreamt of asking for the position of being my admin, right? Why? Well, because she didn't think that she would be, I don't know, good enough? I don't know what the word is. She'll probably give it to us in a second. And she said, and I'm so eternally grateful, Sal. Well, I want to tell you that, I'm the lucky person. You know me, I'm not that good a person. I got a lot of benefit from that. And tell me, the rest of you, did I pick the wrong person? No, I knew it was the right person. But you see, the thing is, Jody, you found yourself something to live for. Now, I want to talk a bit about that because be glad of life because it gives us a chance to love and to work and to look up at the stars. Yes, Roddy's saying about the snow. We barely have any. I want to tell you, Roddy, I lived 17 years in Africa and we had snow on one day in 17 years. And, I can remember it so well because I was actually at a luncheon and I phoned my office and I said, leave me one secretary and one manager, but everybody else go home, go play with your kids in the snow, because it may be the only day of their life that they see snow. So do me a favor, leave me somebody who's seen snow to act as a secretary and to answer the phones, and leave me one management person just because I'm on my way back, but I will let them go as soon as I get there. So do you understand? It was just like, everybody else go play. I can assure you that not everybody agreed with my decision, but what did I know? It might be the only day in their lives that they got to play with snow. I believe in taking advantage of that. Yes, and Jody's saying you were right. I didn't think I was qualified. We hit it off. We work well together. Yes, Jody. And why do we work well together? Because we bring different parts to the puzzle. All right. And that is something that's really important. You are, you have so many talents that I don't think you realize. But the reason I wanted to talk about Jody is because Jody's been taught not to put herself first in a lot of things. And so she was talking to me about, what was I talking about? Something. And she was talking about the floor. Oh, I was picking flooring for my new house, for my newly renovate, when they do the renovations. So, and Jody sent me a picture of hers and she said, well, this is what my 20-year-old floor looks like. So I said to her, why don't you ask your landlord to replace it? You see, I knew that Jody would probably not even think to do that because her thought would be, they won't want to do that. No, they won't necessarily want to do it. But when they see a picture of it, Jody, and you tell them, this looks like it was put down in the 70s, I'm beginning to wonder how sanitary it is. I think, they will see it. But what I said to Jody was, get smart, do the work for them, right? Find out how many square feet you have in your kitchen, and then, do a bit of research online and find out, how much that would cost at maybe a Home Depot or End of the Roll or whatever it is, wherever you are, offcuts, right? Because you don't have to have a lot. I'm pretty sure that Jody's kitchen isn't very big. And I said, by the way, while you're at it, you may want to measure your bathroom, and Jody mentioned her hallway. I said, measure them all, because the chances are you can probably do all of those for a couple of $100 plus labor. You see, that's the interesting thing. It's just the labor that costs the money, the big money. And, it's just a case of if somebody knows what they're doing, it doesn't take them very long. So my challenge was, think about getting your kitchen replaced to floor. But, then I expanded it into the bathroom, and then she added the hall. So now this is like, wonder whether she'll get it. But Jody, how much fun is it even just thinking about it? And by the way, if they say no, Jody, if they say no, what's plan B? I'm going, check in at Home Depot what it would cost to cover that floor with some new, those stick-on tiles that even, you and I could put down. Now, they might not last very long, but, do you care? It would be cleaner. Jodi's going, it lifted my mood even thinking about it. Of course. Which is what a beautiful life is about. Is, do you have a direction? Do you know why you're doing what you're doing? You see, I do. I know that I want to care enough to share. And I know that I want to share enough to make a meaningful difference. Because I know if I do that, I will become a gentle giant inside. You see, I knew that if I did that, not only would I be helping other people, but I'd be helping myself. Does that make sense? You see, and I look at it and I think about the scare that Sandy got last night. And I'm going, wow, that is really scary. And then I think about the pain that Jodi is in on a daily basis. And I think that must be so difficult to live with that level of pain. And that you are dependent on narcotics to be able to even do things. I did 45 minutes on my Wii Fit, yes, the exercise program yesterday. And I was so proud of myself to do 45 minutes. Not because I had to, because I made a conscious decision that I wanted to get better balance and better coordination. I made a conscious decision. And Jeannie's saying, I do not forget how you helped me when my house was on fire. Don't be scared, be prepared. Yes, that's, we say it all the time, don't we? And isn't it true, Jeannie? Right? The same thing is, I know we're all going to be dealing with a lot less money and a lot higher prices. So that's why I keep saying to you on Friday evenings, let's be prepared, not scared. You need to be prepared. How are you going to cope with this? And because it is important that you think about that. And it's not negative, it's life. It's going to happen. It was said that be like a flower and know that life is beautiful, like springtime. But how many of you can see it's beautiful because we make it beautiful? And so here is the thing. I challenge some of you to find out how long you could stand on one leg. You go to a door frame, hold on to the door frame for safety, just to make sure you got balance, and then stand on one leg. Did anybody do it? Did anybody find out how many seconds they can do that for? Because, you see, if you want to improve on something, you need to start it. But so many people, hi, Aaron. All right, and you're advertising, so let us make sure we don't do that here, Aaron. I'm sorry, we're going to need to put you on a timeout. So, do you understand? I can tell what you are interested in by what time you give it in your life. All right, Roddy's saying, I think sometimes you try everything, and if you have a bad life, it doesn't change. I disagree. I just, Roddy, from my experience, okay, let me show you. Do you want to see an example of that? All right, I took a picture today that might illustrate that. Hold on one second. Okay, it's not a good picture. All right, so can you see this graph? Can you see that it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down? Now, that is my weight. And tell me, is there any improvement there? Or is it just plateauing on the same place? Ready? Is it just sort of just bouncing backwards and forwards in the same area? Right. Now, a lot of people will say, what's the point? You know, I've been doing this for nearly a month and it's not changing my weight. And I'll show you the last bit. Boom. Can you see the last bit? It took a month. And by the way, the reason it was doing all this was because I was building muscle. So every time I lost some weight, I was building the weight up with muscle again and so forth. But now let me show you something really interesting. Okay, let me see if I can show you this one. I got tears in my eyes when I show you this. For the first time in a month, look where my center of gravity is. It is almost perfect. The COB is center of balance, all right? It is almost perfect. And for those of you who are regular viewers, by the way, that was this morning. For those of you who are regular viewers, you know that I started way off to one side because I had arthritis in my right hip and I was favoring my left hip. Yeah. So, and I was favoring my right side to compensate. First of all, I was pretty grateful, you know, that I still had the ability to walk on two legs, unlike Lauren, you know, one of our viewers, Lauren, or Erin. I give thanks for that every day. And so what I do is I try to remember how lucky I am. And so the point, Roddy, is a lot of people would see their life, okay, just not going anywhere. And then they give up. I don't give up. Ask Jody. You know, I don't give up. Just because the graft isn't showing me the result yet, I don't give up. Why? I know I'm doing the right things. Yes, and Jeannie is still doing the inside steps for her exercise. How long a day, how much time a day are you giving to it, Jeannie? And thank you for the congratulations, everyone. But you understand, I don't give up on myself. I am obese, but how many of you know I am working at bringing that down? And I am pre-diabetic. I have to struggle to keep my diabetes under control or not to go into that. And I'm busy making chocolates and cookies and things for people for Christmas. Well, you know I'm taste testing, but that's shooting my blood sugar up. So part of me is going, I could choose not to do that. Or I could choose to know you're going to have to be even more careful now. You see, I want to cook and make homemade chocolates. It gives me great pleasure. I'm having a lot of fun and a lot of learning. And by the way, I did try what happens if you take an ice cube and pour chocolate over it. It really does make it does make a chocolate cup, but it's not easy. I do want to tell you that it was not nearly as easy as I would like it to have been. I'm still working on perfecting that. But you know me, I needed to try it. And what I did was I made this little square of chocolate, and then I stuck half a marshmallow in it, a big one, and then I covered it up with chocolate. So I'm hoping somebody will go, oh, that's nice. It was said that beautiful pictures are developed from negatives in the dark room. So anytime you see darkness in your life, it means God is developing a beautiful future for you. So Roddy, I'm not sure if I asked you this before. Give us an idea of how old you are. I got a feeling you said you were in your early 20s. Am I right in that? And I would say that one of the things, you're 23. Okay. Now, think about this, Roddy. I'm 73. Do you think I should be depressed because I'm about to die? And by the way, you know, I'm laughing just even thinking of that. But, you know, it's like we're all going to die. You know, I look at it and go, I don't know that you are going to live longer than I am. Yeah, exactly. We're all going to die. So why not enjoy your life? So forget about the past, forget about the future. Just go, what do I want to do to enjoy today? And I recommend doing something that makes you happy. Now, think about that. Think about that. Yesterday, I take Saturdays as a day off. And yesterday, it was really quite funny. I ended up finding a game on my phone that totally absorbed me for hours. Now, there's part of me that wanted to beat up on myself because it wasn't being very productive to spend hours doing that. And then I went, no, it was my day off. You know, I can do what I want to do on my day off. I don't have to be productive on my day off. Makes sense. So, and I was really happy doing it. And by the way, it took a lot of concentration and a lot of logic, but that's what caught me. I got really addicted to playing it because of that. So to me, it's about, but if I did it every day for 4 hours, would that be a total waste of my life? I think so. And by the way, somebody yesterday asked if they could, chat with me and catch up. And I said, sure. And they gave me a time. And the time that they gave me, I made myself available and let them know. An hour later, they still hadn't phoned me. And half an hour later, I wrote and said, you're obviously too busy today, so let's forget about it. We'll do it another day. And then they phoned, and I didn't answer. Because do you understand? That's wasting my time. That's wasting, you said, you gave me the time. I didn't give it to you. You told me what time. I understand life gets in the way, and that's why I gave the extra hour. But then I even gave the extra half hour. About after that, I went, no, I'm getting on with my life now, right? Because when we let other people control our lives, we are not happy people. That is disrespectful of my time. But you see, what happens, Jody, is people go, well, it's Sal. She's on her own. She's in lockdown, all those sort of things. So she's bound to not be busy. Well, hello. Jeannie's saying today we also rested a while after getting our vehicles cleaned off and moving them, all right, as per the apartment instructions. Yeah, after the snow, right? Roddy's saying, of course, I can try and enjoy as much as I can, but I'm forced to spend a lot of time on electronics sometimes. I never go out for a full month, and I feel I've wasted my life. Well, let me ask you, who's stopping you from going outside for 10 minutes today and getting some fresh air? Unless you're in lockdown because of COVID. But, all right, so you see, what happens is we can blame the electronics, but the person who controls your life is you. And if you cannot find 15 minutes a day to go out and get some fresh air, that means you're not in control of your life. I have no friends. I feel miserable going out alone. Okay. You're not going out to find friends. You're going out to get some fresh air because fresh air will improve your mood. Fresh air will give you some exercise. Fresh air will give you a change of scenery. You won't be sitting around feeling sorry for yourself. So here is the challenge. Ready? Okay. How many days this week can you commit to getting out of the house and walking? Just if it's round the block. Can you do it once this week? Can you do it twice this week? Because if you can do it 3 times, I will know that you want to change your life. Because you will have so many excuses not to do it. So many. Yeah, I would challenge you to try it. Absolutely. And the thing is this, that part of what we do here at Dear Mama Sal, Roddy, is to let go of the excuses. You know, the voice in the head? And you can hear it. You go, I really, yeah, Mama Sal said I might want to get out for 15 minutes. And then you go, yeah, but I'm a bit busy and I need to get this in and da 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 da. All right, Roddy's saying, okay, this week I'll go out every day because I was in a job interview today and I got accepted. Hello, is your life getting better? How lucky are you to have a job? Yay, well done. So I believe, Roddy, that part of your change in your happiness is how you see things. So what I do is I wake up every morning and I go, oh, good, I woke up. I'm grateful for that. Sandy was, I assure you, Sandy was grateful for that this morning. Am I right, Sandy? And what I encourage you to do is to come to more of the broadcasts and listen to everybody else because we're all got stuff going on. Yes, Jeannie's saying it's amazing. Wear a color you like wearing. Roddy's saying, yeah, and I feel I finally have something to do again. You see, but you made it external. What happiness is about, Roddy, and we're going to help you with that if you are able to come to more broadcasts or at least listen to them, even if you can't do them live. What happiness is about is not making it dependent on a job, not making it dependent on the weather, not making it dependent on whether you have your weight or or whether you can move or not. Jody right now tells me that she cannot stand, yeah, I think I've got this right, for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Right? She cannot stand upright for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Now, I said to Jody, okay, let's challenge that. The reason she cannot stand for more than 2 or 3 minutes is that her muscles have atrophied. They've gone weak on her. And Jody, I'm hoping that you can see what I've done with my muscles, even if I'm not losing weight. Can you see that I must be doing the right things for my muscles? Because how did I manage to hit that center point? And by the way, that test was with my eyes closed. In other words, I couldn't watch something and see, can I maneuver my body to get dead center? I did it with my eyes closed because they told me to. So I look at it and I go, happiness isn't an external thing, it's an internal thing. Bad things are always going to hit us. Look at Lolo in Louisiana, right? She was so happy, she got new grandbabies, this, that, and the other, and boom, her husband gets stage 4 cancer. These terrible things are going to happen to us. But it is our job to do what we can to be happy within those moments. And, I'm pretty sure that Lolo is spending her time making sure she has the best possible time with her husband right now. Forget about next year. Forget about what happened last year. She's going to spend time with her husband now. Why? It might be the last time she has. We don't know. Let's hope they got everything, but reality says it's time to spend that time. And how about this one? Because of your smile, you make life more beautiful. I believe that. I'm very guilty of going shopping and I smile at people, as you can imagine. And they're probably going, look at that funny lady, she's smiling, but you know how many people smile back at me? And so when I go home at night, do I know I've made a difference? Do I know I've made a difference? People, when they passed me or coming towards me, weren't smiling, but I smiled and they smiled back. You see, really, you say you're so proud of me building up those muscles again, but here's the thing. You can build your happiness if you want to, or you can carry on being depressed. That's up to you. But you can build happiness. Jody will tell you that. Really. Sandy will tell you how happy she was to wake up this morning. Listen to this one. Childhood means simplicity. Look at the world with child's eyes, and it is very beautiful. You see, a child wakes up in the morning, and the only responsibility they have is, well, until they go to school, but really, their only responsibility is to clean their teeth, go to the washroom, clean their teeth, and then play. I mean, really, how many of you are going, I want that life? But is that reality? No. Reality has responsibilities, bills to pay, things to do, dust to clean, and all that sort of stuff. So I really do believe that what makes me happy is my routines. Okay? Like, I've now learned, the reason I have now exercised for I think it's over 20 days now. The reason I've done it every day is because I made it part of my routine. I said, what I'm going to do, and you remember Kimmy saying that her watch always runs out? I get up in the morning, I go make my coffee. I come here to the computer because that's always where I go before I wake up. With my coffee, I take my watch off and I charge it while I work on the computer, and I look at my emails and sort out my day. You understand? But when I've done that, when I think, oh, it's time for a second cup of coffee, I go, no, it isn't. Because before my second cup of coffee, I need to exercise. And then I'm going, no, but before you have your second cup of coffee, you need to exercise. And that's what I've done. I built it into my daily routine. And it really is amazing. I can feel the difference in my body. I actually want to say that I did something today badly. I did it badly. I did something today that I wouldn't have dreamt of even trying a month ago or 3 weeks ago. Sandy is saying, friends, I'm going to duck out early. Yes, I'm going to have dinner and then watch a movie with the family. Yes, and then I think, well done, Sandy, and thank you for the time you gave. And thank you for letting me tell your story, because I am certain it was an eye-opener for a lot of people. How lucky they are to have woken up. And we are so lucky to have you in our lives. Thank you for making us that much of a priority today. I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else does. So if you think about it, how many of you know I am doing what I can to control my blood sugar, what I can to work on my weight? You see, I am not as concerned for the results necessarily. I know I am doing what I can. All right? Now, some days, Jody will tell you this one, some days are easier than others. Sandy will tell you some days are easier than others. But overall, if I had to go to court and they said, Sal, can you prove that you were trying to lose weight? I go, yeah. Let me show you. Well, actually, I can't show you here. But, I have proof. I've now done 5 hours. Did they say? 10 hours. 10 hours of work on building my muscle strength. Yeah? The reason I know that is because it popped up in the middle of my routine today. But I am amazed at things that I'm suddenly able to do that I was not even capable of doing. They have a short run, and then they have a longer run, and then they have a around the island run. Well, I did the long run today, and I don't have to run. I have to do the best I can. So guess what? I'm sort of stand in place, and I do it this way. It takes 10 minutes. You could do that. You could do that if you wanted to. Well, Jody can't. She can only do 2 or 3. But what if she started to say, let me see how many minutes I actually can walk for? Not walk, but just with your upper body, Jody, just do this, okay? While standing. And maybe it's only 2 minutes. Write it down. Monday, 2 minutes. Tuesday, 2 minutes. Wednesday, 1.5. Doesn't mean a thing, Jody, because what you are doing is you are using those muscles. Do you understand? And you're going to surprise yourself, as I have, that one day you're going to stand up and you're going to go, oh, wow, that was 3. That was exciting. And then the next day you probably go back to 1 or something. Doesn't matter. What you're doing is every day you are asking those muscles to work and support you. I am amazed that I can do stuff that requires that I put a lot of weight on one knee and then on another. When I say on a knee, but you know, it's like the warrior pose, if you know that in yoga. That's difficult to do. I am amazed how well I'm doing that. I hit yoga master on that thing. That means that I have got not only able to shift my weight that far, but I'm also able to stay absolutely solid, well, you know, near enough. And what amazes me is that I can do that. I couldn't do it a month ago. So do I feel happy? Am I doing something to increase my happiness? Yes, I'm achieving something. When I cook or when I play with making chocolates, does that make me happy? Yeah. Why? Number 1, it's such fun. Number 2, they're gifts that I'm giving to people. So these things are made with love. I could buy a box of chocolates for half the price. Is that the point? No. The point is I handmade chocolates. That says I care. You see, happiness is not about other people. It's about what are you doing for you. It is, are you spending enough time on making you happy and doing the things that will make you happy? Fresh air will make you happy. Being creative will make you happy. Doing something to increase your physical strength will make you happy. And by the way, Jody, I found those fluctuations, I just ignore them. I just want to know, did I do 30 minutes today? Roddy's saying it's amazing that you think about making other people happy too. I don't work on making other people happy. I work on trying to help people be happy. I spent a lot of my life unhappy, Roddy. I know what it feels like. Jeannie's saying, best happiness is you making your sourdough bread and giving it away to my neighbor. Yes, and the funny thing is she's complaining because whenever I go to deliver it, she's not there and she gets really upset. And Roddy's saying, you know what I did? I do because I was so grateful for my childhood life and my cartoons. Now, that's a really good thing. If you're feeling down, it's a really good idea to watch a children's movie, right? I found, watching a children's movie, or Jody and a lot of you some of you find a lot of happiness watching, the Hallmark movies, all right? We call them Snowflake Fall movies. But it's like, what makes you happy? Spend time in your day and see it. Don't see it as I'm wasting time watching a Snowflake Fall movie. Say to yourself, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to stop worrying about the bills. I'm going to stop worrying about cleaning the house. I'm going to take an hour and a half and watch a movie just for me. And it will be good for my relaxation, right? Roddy's saying, I improved my drawing and studied graphics and arts. and my graduation project was an animation channel. I'm studying dubs, and I dream about making many children and teenagers happy. What a great goal. By the way, I have a cartoon program as well. I haven't had, with all that's been happening with the fire and everything, I haven't had a lot and made it time to play with it a lot recently, but I do have one. And I know how challenging they are and how long it takes. It really amazed me. I can remember making a 3-minute birthday card for somebody in cartoons, and it took me like 4 hours to make. And it was just like, so what we know about you though, Roddy, all right? We know that you're creative. We know that you are goal-oriented. And we know you like success. Am I correct? We also know that you're pretty intelligent. Why? You're here. And we know that you want to be happier because you're here. Now, is working going to affect your ability to be able to watch the live broadcasts? I realize that you're in a completely different time zone. What time is it there in Egypt at the moment? And while I'm waiting for that response, do not lose hope. Please believe that there are thousands of beautiful things waiting for you. Sunshine comes to all who feel the rain. Brody, one of the things that I try to make sure people understand is that, hang on, sweetie, we struggle, to try and be happy. And then we feel like we fall. I don't know if you know that. We feel like what's the point? But really what it is gathering enough strength so you can take the next bit of the mountain. Does that make sense? And then you go, oh, I've run out of energy. So you need to just come back a bit and rest a bit and then get a new goal in front of you. All right. And then you can climb the next bit. And you climb all the way to up here. And what do you find out? In the big scheme of things, it's all the way back here again, because let me show you why. Let me show you why that happens, is because if you're busy climbing this mountain, you need to be all the way here before you can see that this is possible. All right? And then you need to be all the way here before you can see this is possible. And Jody will tell you that when I met her, she didn't think anything was possible anymore. And she has done so much to help herself. And we don't concentrate on what we can't do. We concentrate on what we can. Brody, I want you every day to say, okay, fine. I can't go for half an hour walk, but what can I do? I can go around the block. Or I don't have enough time to do X, Y, and Z, but what can I do? You see, when you start saying those words, what can I do? Can you say that every day this week you went out and got some fresh air? Even if it means that you opened the door, stood in the door and tried to stand on one leg while you were breathing in fresh air for 10 minutes. Do you understand? It all counts. In my mind, it says that you stopped doing the mind-numbing stuff and made a decision to help yourself. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, 2:30. Well, yeah. Just will let everybody tell you what time it is where they are. It is 4:30 here in southern British Columbia in Canada. But you understand, Roddy, that all the broadcasts stay on the replay. So if ever you miss one, or if ever you can't sleep, or you're feeling a bit stressed, there are like thousands, literally thousands of broadcasts that you can listen to that I've put down over the years. How about this? Different shades of life make the painting more beautiful. All right? We get good days and bad days, Roddy. Jody still gets good days and bad days. Some days she will write to me and say, I just haven't got the energy today to do very much. But then, 3 hours later, she'll tell me she did something. Why? She decided to change her world by doing something. R.M. Drake said, don't lose hope. Please believe. Oh, we've had that one already, right? Please believe there are thousands of things waiting for you. Beautiful things. Listen to this. Don't choose the beautiful in this life. Choose who makes your life beautiful. Right? So this is it. If you can only be happy if you've got friends, then you are always going to be at the mercy of your friends. But if you can say, hey, can I make myself happy even without having friends at the moment? Because we know you are a friendly person, because we've already met you. The thing is this, what can I do? You're creative. You love to create. You are analytical. You have to be analytical to be able to do graphics, right? Because there's one thing to be creative, but when you're talking about manipulating stuff on a computer, that requires another set of skills altogether. And so I look at it and go, do what makes you happy, right? For at least half an hour a day. If you're having difficulty concentrating, go and do something that makes you happy. Go cook something. It's creative. Cooking is creative. Takes you out of your, it takes you out of your mindset. How about this one? Don't let those fools blow your cool. Stay righteous to yourself and follow your dreams no matter what. Life is beautiful if you make it that way. So I look at my life, and is it beautiful every day? No, some days are quite stressful. But it's what I do with those days that make my life beautiful. All right? It is, I was getting fed up because I had this very limited wardrobe because of the fire, and I was allowed to buy 3 outfits. Well, there's only so many ways you're going to wear those 3 outfits. And eventually I got really bored. Now my choice is to go and buy more or to get them to pull some of my clothes out of storage, which is what I asked them to do. And, it's funny because I normally wouldn't wear this at this time of the year. This is a fall top for me, but I'm going, something? I haven't worn it this year, or I haven't worn it this fall because I was busy with the fire stuff. So guess what? I'm quite enjoying wearing orange today. Not a color I wear a lot. And yes, it clashes with the red, but do I care? Not really. It's just for today. Dwell on the beauty of our life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. One of the things I talked to you guys about last week, and Jody, I think I mentioned it to you when we were talking about beaches. There is something about taking a moment and thinking about the nicest beach you've ever been to, and in your mind, walk that beach. The question is, can you spend 10 minutes concentrating on walking that beach? You see, what I think you'll find is that you can't do it. You cannot shut out the thoughts long enough, all right, to be able to concentrate for that length of time. You'll think, oh, I really need to go and do this, and oh, I better go and phone so-and-so, or the thing is, can you stop the world and control your life for 10 minutes? Jody, I challenge you, right? If you can't stand on your one leg for more than a couple of seconds, don't go, I can't do this. Go, now I know where the start point is. Let me see what the other leg does. And you go, oh, well, that's even worse. Okay, fine. Write it down. Go, now I know where to start. Now I'm going to start building muscles, because if it's only 2 seconds and next week you do 3, how is it going to feel, Jody? I know. Believe you, I know. When I did this one exercise today, I nearly cried. There is an exercise that requires you to squat enough that it hits an area. And when you hit that area, it's a good thing. Do you know, for 3 weeks, I have not been able to squat down low enough to hit that area more than maybe once or twice during the exercise. And today, I hit it about 8, 9 times. What does it tell me? I have built the strength in my core to be able to squat that low. And hi, Nyasha, good to see you. Nyasha, meet Roddy. Roddy is here from Egypt, and Nyasha lives in Tobago. Do you know where that is, Roddy? Let's see how Roddy's geography is. If not, I'll let you know. Don't feel badly if you don't know. I think a lot of people needed to learn where it was. It's a little island, part of Trinidad and Tobago, and they are just off the northeast corner of South America. So, no, it's okay, Roddy. Don't feel badly about that. You do now. And I challenge you after the broadcast to go and check out exactly where it is, because that's where Nyasha is from, right? A little island called Tobago, and it's just part of Trinidad and Tobago. That's 2 islands make up one country. And that's where she's from. So and she has been dealing with diabetes and doing a great job of looking after herself. And she also has other issues that she struggles with health-wise, but she makes her life as happy as she can. Diane Reeves said, even in a world with much sadness, at its essence, life is beautiful. I couldn't help thinking when I was getting into this routine of doing my exercises every day, and people, and I was thinking, I'm standing here just literally walking like this. I'm not walking, I'm just literally moving my body like this, like I'm walking. That's how I started. And I was thinking, well, what good is that going to do? And I'm going a lot. If you think about it, this is making my torso work, and I'm standing up straight. And it doesn't matter if I am physically running or whether I am just, doing the upper body movements. You see, what I am doing is using those muscles. And eventually, guess what? My legs started to want to walk. And then my legs started to want to run a little bit. And now what I do is I run for 20 paces and I walk for 20, and then I run for 20 paces. And when I get too tired for that, then I speed walk. And then if I get too tired for that, then so it's not about the score. It's about, am I doing it? Am I training my muscles? And so I look at it and go, I want to improve my coordination and my balance. I think what shocked me was how much of my coordination I'd lost. A couple of the exercises require me to do something to a rhythm. Now, I always was quite a rhythmic person. I could dance, believe you me. And, I was quite a rhythmic person. And guess what? I found out I've lost that. I have lost that. So I went, whoa, I need to concentrate on doing more of that, because it's making my brain tell my feet to go in a certain pattern. So I recommend those of you who are going to start working. You see, you can say the pandemic stopped you from exercising, or you can still do it. All right? And my attitude is, put on some music that you like and just walk to the music. See if you can do 10 minutes. That would be 3 songs, right? Most songs are about 3 minutes long. Can you walk just for 3 songs and sing away if you want to? Because if you can, you're taking time for you. And that will increase your happiness. and it will decrease your stress. It gives you a time of your day when you are looking after you. It was said that every day is a reason to live because God made life indeed beautiful. All right? If you're not making every day count, if you were just lying on the couch being a couch potato, or if you're stuck on the computer, with bad posture and not breathing properly and not getting any fresh air, then you understand what you're doing to your body. And by the way, if you're snacking while you're doing that, you know what I did yesterday to bring my blood sugar down, Jody? I knew you would love to hear this. Every time I started to get hungry, I went, drink, don't eat. Right? And I had lots of water next to me. And by the way, I put lemon and orange into my water. That's why it's a funny color. I just dropped the ends of my oranges and my lemons in, and I'm going to add limes. And I literally went, okay, you're hungry, but drink, don't eat. And I literally did that. But, I did eat properly. But where I would normally snack, I'm going, drink, don't eat. And it did bring my blood sugar down, even though I'd had chocolates. All right, so Roddy's saying, I fell 2 floors on the stairs last November. Wow. And I have no muscles and nerve issues on my left side of my body, my left feet tendons, but I'm still trying to move as I used to. It's like I can tell you that I'm pretty sure you've got medical people that are looking after you in terms of the damage you did. Find out from them what you can do that would be good for you. All right. And if they say, yes, you can walk in place, I would say anything you do to help strengthen those muscles. I had a time in my life, Roddy, where they cut right across my stomach. They cut down my stomach, sorry, for an emergency operation. And they cut me from my belly button right the way down. And they cut through all the muscles in my stomach. Now, I know that I need to do a lot of work because those muscles in my stomach were, just severed. But, it's like what we need to do is to make those things work again as far as we can. I've got nerve issues as well, Roddy. Did you know that? I've got nerve issues in my feet. And I truly believe, I could be wrong, but I truly believe that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to rebuild those nerves in my feet. And I've lost some of the feeling in my feet because of my pre-diabetes. So to me, it's about, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. If I don't use it, I'm going to lose it even more. And again, I was quite surprised this week because of my dedication, if you like, to what I am, to this new step for me. I actually balanced on my toes. And I can assure you that the nerve problem that I have is in the big toe area of my left foot. So actually balancing on my toes is very challenging for me. But I know the more I do it, the more I'm going to force those nerves to react and those muscles to react. And I believe it will all help. Jody's saying, good job, Sal. Being dehydrated can cause false hunger. And as you know, staying hydrated helps balance the blood sugar. Yes, I knew that I had tasted candy, chocolate. So, this was like, what do I know? Protein and lots of water. So, Jody, I thank you. You taught me all this. So this is the whole thing. We all have reasons to be depressed at the moment, don't we? If you think about it. Freddie's saying, yes, it feels frustrating sometimes, but it feels great every time I am able to move and I wasn't able to before. Exactly. I can do this too, Jody. You see, Roddy, that's why we get together. And Roddy, if you, keep in touch and keep coming to the broadcast and write when you want to, we will build a support team for you, and that you can know that you can tell us that you weren't able to do it today and give us the excuse, and we'll probably call you on it and go, well, was that an excuse or was it the truth? You see, I didn't get to be obese by accident. I got obese by eating too much. And I didn't get pre-diabetic by accident. I got pre-diabetic by eating too much sugar in my life. Complaining about it, being upset about it, being angry about it doesn't solve anything. The only thing that is going to solve my weight is exercise and proper eating. And the only thing that is going to bring my blood sugar down is proper eating and more water. And so it's quite simple. But is it as big a challenge for me, Roddy, as maybe it is for you with the problems that you have? You bet. Is it as big a problem for me as it is for Jody with what she's doing? You bet. Is it as big a problem for me as it is for Sandy? You see, we all have our individual battle. None of us is perfect. Everybody who comes to this room is on their own journey. And we don't ask you to do what Jody's doing. We don't ask you to do what I'm doing. All I want to show you is I want it badly enough to do something about it. Jody wanted to live badly enough to listen to me. When I say to listen to me, that to let me take her hand and help her live a little. Nyasha, wanted to walk as well. And so, and for Nyasha, it was a huge challenge because she had to grow up mentally before she could do that. And we're so proud of you, Nyasha, with all that you've done. All right, and Nyasha saying, Roddy, don't think of your illness. I always tell people to just let it flow your body. I have got many. All right, you've got many health issues, right? But I have to be strong. And Roddy's saying, you can do it, Jody. I know you can. Yes, and so can you, Roddy. Or you can have excuses. I want you to start getting amused. And one of the things, Roddy, that's a really good, fun thing to do is to tell yourself, I can only use the excuse once every day. So if you think I should really get up, yeah, but I've got to do X, Y, and Z, you're only allowed that excuse once. Excuse me. Jeannie's saying, thanks for this good broadcast. I am glad the roof and the outer walls are up on your home, right? A great accomplishment. Very exciting. Do you know how long they think it'll take before you can move back in, Jeannie? Roughly? Did they give you a time frame now that they've got the roof on? You see, they haven't got the trusses on mine yet. And I know there's not much to do in mine, not nearly as much as there is on yours, but I thought it'd be interesting to know what sort of a time frame they are telling you, if they are. Confucius said that everything has beauty, but not everybody can see it. Yeah, interesting. Jeannie's saying she thinks she might be back in about April or May. I'm thinking that as well. I'm telling people my best guess is that it'll be the end of winter, maybe early spring, that I'll be able to return home. Isn't that weird? I assure you that this time last year, when I was sitting in my original home trying to sell it, I did not in any way envision that life would give me the turmoil that I have had in the last year. But I want to know from all of you, all right, that are here in the broadcast, my turmoil in my life and Jeannie's turmoil in her life, and and all the other people who have been in the broadcast and discussed what's going on, has it in any way helped you live a happier life? You see, that is the whole point about it, which is we are each on this individual journey. And we all have our little roadblocks. We all have excuses, Roddy, not just you. You know, we all have depressed feelings, but it's how long do you stay there? Do you know how to get out of them? We all have moments of anxiety, but do we know how to get back into the present? You see, when you can do that more quickly, right? When you can do that more quickly, your life is happier. And that is what we're all doing. All right, Jeannie's saying, I feel strong. I must be strong and never give up. Well, you don't have to. You choose to. I don't think that you must. I think you can see that you now choose to. You have chosen to be strong. And you have chosen not to give up. I assure you, you had every reason to be a mental basket case, Jeannie. All right? And I applaud the fact that you didn't go that route. I really do. I applaud it. And Jeannie's saying, I chose to do this as a good example for others. Thank you. And you have been a good example. And Roddy's saying, I feel like I have great company now. You bet you do, if you want it. You know where we are. You know when we broadcast. And the reality is that I've always said to people, the most important thing I can do is be consistent, is to be here twice on a Friday and once on a Sunday. And I very rarely don't do those broadcasts. Why? I never know who's going to need it this week. So it doesn't matter how bad I'm feeling, if I've got a bit of a cold or such a flu or whatever. You know that I will only cancel a broadcast if I really am not capable of doing it. But it has to be pretty serious for me not to do it. Or if something has come up that I really do need to attend to, that I can't do it. And it makes me happy to be able to make a difference. It makes me happy to hear Sandy and how she survived last night. It makes me happy to listen to Jodi's incredible journey. It makes me happy to see Nada's name come up. Nada, big hugs. She's fighting a bug and being sick and thinking of you. Well, Nada, I always know when I look at the people ghosting, the chances are you're one of those people. Pat is another one that is inclined to listen and not necessarily participate. But we love you for it. So here's my reality. Life is as beautiful as we make it. I will be as fit as I want to be. All right? It is not about the weather. It's not about whether it's snowing outside, Jodi, or not, right? It's about what are you doing? It is not about other people bringing us happiness. The only way I can be happy is to have friends. Well, yes, they help. But you know something? You are so lucky to have a computer where you can make new friends all the time. It's like, really, when you think about it, we are so blessed. And I want to send you all a really big hug. And I want to challenge you all to work hard this week at giving up the excuses and doing what you want to do. If you want to do what I did for 3 days this week and eat chocolate and pay the price, that's your right. And you don't even have to correct it if you don't want to. But I do know that I am responsible for my happiness, my fitness, my weight, my skin. You know what I mean? It's like, that is my responsibility. Yes, Nada's saying I did that too. I ate too much chocolate. Well, I find it very difficult, Nada. I didn't know it until this week. I didn't realize um, that when you're making chocolate, it's amazing how much gets into your mouth. It's on your fingers or it's on the, you dropped a bit there. Well, you might as well just eat that. And it was just like, that's insane. And the other thing is, it's really important to quality control what you're cooking. And that's not an excuse. Why? I made one batch of chocolates, and when I tasted them, I realized they were much harder than I wanted them to be. Because a lot of the people that are going to be getting these chocolates are older people, and they don't want hard toffees inside. Yes, and Nash is saying, you see, listen to Nash now saying, Sal, of course you can have chocolate, but just cut back for the rest of the days. Yes, but I'm going to be cooking for these things or making these things for some time. But I've learned that make them and put them away. Out of sight, out of mind works really well. And also, I'm trying to only make one batch every day so that I'm, can just, enjoy it and then put it away. All right, everybody. So have a wonderful week. Remember that life is as beautiful as you want it to be. You are a magical, unique person, and you don't have to be healthy to be happy. You need to be happy to be healthy. You remember that the reason I put in 30 minutes every day now is because I want to have better balance and stronger muscles. I don't do it because I like it. I do it because that's what I want in my life. I want to have stronger muscles and better balance. And I don't want to say, well, I can't go outside because it's raining, or I can't go outside because it's snowing. I want to say, I am doing what I can. I am doing what I can, no excuses, and I will do what I need to do. And even if, remember that graph I showed you, even if it's not going down, if it's just bouncing like this, and then suddenly today it dropped. 3 weeks of it doing nothing, and today it dropped. But I am already still heavier than I was when I started this time last year, when I dropped all that weight. Remember, I dropped 15 pounds. I put all that back on again because of the eating I did with the pandemic stuff and all the other excuses. Well, it's like, no, I am not going to be depressed about that. I'm going to go, it is what it is. What am I going to do about it to make myself happier? So when I talk to my doctor, I can say, hey, I've been a bit depressed. And he would expect us all to say that. Because you'd need to be very weird in this day and age if you weren't feeling a little depressed about what's going on in the world. But then make sure you say, but this is what I did about it. By the way, I found that when the pandemic started, I started overeating. Guess what? Your doctor's going to say, yeah, understandable, but this is what I'm doing about it. You understand, this is quite human. We are dealing in incredibly difficult times. So, Ruddy, being a little depressed means you're comparing yourself with the past. Yes, Ruddy, imagine being able to help a random person at least once a week. That is what keeps me going. Ask Jody. Jody knows. I always say, if the broadcast I did today helped just one person that I may never know about, then it was worth doing. So, big hugs to you. I am not a perfect person, Ruddy. Jody's not a perfect person. Sandy's not a perfect person. You see, we're just all people doing the best we can. But we get together 3 times a week to encourage each other to continue trying. Don't give up on yourself. You are a magical person. You are busy worrying about your life at 23, and I am busy living mine at 73. Think about that. This is Dear Mama Sal saying thank you all for being here. Thank you for encouraging one another. And thank you for doing the best you can. Don't compare yourself to Jody or Sal or anybody else. Nyasha, right? Your job, all of us, is to do the best we can. Our only person that we need to worry about is ourselves. And as Nyasha is saying, yes, this pandemic is horrible. No visiting our families. Yeah, exactly this year. Mom has heart issues and I'm sick, but Christmas this year will be in our hearts. So blessings, everybody. Stay strong. I can't beat that one. Well done. Nicely put. Nyasha. This is Dear Mama Sal saying we'll see you on Friday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping one another and all those people we can't see. Bye-bye for now.